human beings being hurt or killed by a non-human intelligence?
While I can't get into the specifics because that would reveal certain U.S. classified operations, I was briefed by a few individuals on the program that there were malevolent events like that.
Grush says
the fact that nobody is talking about this absolutely scares me about our society. You are now within minutes of mystery, and in order to solve the puzzle in this video, you must hit that like button. With that being said, let's continue on with the video. So we just had an ex-member of the Department of Defense get clearance by the Department of Defense to talk about aliens and UFOs. Not only do they have UFO technology that is not of this world, but they also have alien bodies. But that's not the most important part. The most important part is the entities that they do have are hostile and may have ended the lives of some government officials. Now, David Charles Grush, a member of the Department of Defense, is going to show us that he does have a letter from the government giving clearance to be able to have this interview, but he's only able to talk about certain things. But what he does talk about is absolutely mind-blowing. And he's not the only member of the government coming out talking about aliens and UFOs. We also have members of the Pentagon talking about that there could be a possible alien mothership lurking in our solar system, that they found tiny probes. So we have to ask ourselves, why now? Why is all this information coming out in this short span of time? Just 5 years ago, if I were to say the government has hostile aliens, they have out of this world technology, we would be labeled conspiracy theorists. But you have actual government officials coming out saying, yes, we do have these things. And even if you don't want to believe this man, even if you believe this is a hoax, we do have other departments of the government that's not only showing us videos of UFOs, but they're also talking about a mothership lurking in our solar system. So is something coming? Is something big coming that's going to devastate the planet? Or are we seeing the beginning stages of Project Bluebeam, which I will be talking about in another video? I am going to go ahead and start the interview, and I will be giving my take as the interview goes on. So let's go ahead and start the video.
Formally blowing the whistle on secrets he says no one has ever shared publicly before.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the US defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
So you may be saying to yourself then, how is this man allowed to talk? Why didn't the government just bump him off? Because they do want him to talk. You'll even hear him say they gave him a script of what to answer and what not to answer. The government pretty much wants to put this out there. It's either, one, it's smoke and mirrors to really hide what is really happening in the background, or two, they're trying to get us mentally prepared for something that's coming. Either, like I said, that alien mothership they keep talking about, or Project Bluebeam, a holographic messiah takeover, which, like I said, I will get into, but let's continue.
Grush sitting down with award-winning investigative journalist Ross Coulthart, who's reporting for News Nation and has spent years reporting on the UFO question.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
It makes a lot of sense that we do have some sort of alien technology. Just look in this little period of time, even from the 1920s, 1930s on up, we have just exploded when it comes to technology, more so than any other time period. You can go back to hundreds or even thousands of years, and there's nothing like it is today. Yes, people do say that the ancient people did have some kind of technology of their own that we can't explain, but I mean, if you look at today's technology, there's just nothing like it. And the government has technology that is about 20, 30, even 40 years ahead of anything that we know today.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No. I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived. It was a ruse. People started confiding in me. They approached me. I have plenty of current and former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
Grush alleges the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the Intelligence Community Inspector General.
One of the most unbelievable and shocking events that took place was in Varginha, Brazil, when it comes to alien and UFOs. That you have everybody in the municipality of Varginha say they saw an alien. They all described it, and it wasn't just like a handful of people. No, it was almost everybody across the municipality of Varginha describing it and saying what even this alien smelled like. And you also had a few people state they saw the aircraft crash and the Brazilian military collect this aircraft. And then you had a whistleblower from the Varginha event state that the United States military did come in black helicopters and picked up this aircraft and took it away. So it does make a lot of sense that even going back to Roswell and other events that we are collecting spacecraft. We just had an event recently where a family saw a spacecraft crash into their backyard, and they called the police and they described these two aliens. And then the police came and they say, yeah, we did see something crash as well. So you got to ask yourself what became of that spacecraft.
If you're right, if you're telling us the truth, everyone, the entire American public, has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
Is there really anybody out there that believes that the government is telling us the truth 100% of the time? I do know that there are some conspiracy theories that do sound absolutely crazy, but to believe that we're being told the truth all the time is a little crazy in itself.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
In a vast, never-ending universe that's always expanding, it would be mathematically impossible that we are alone. Now, I did make another video stating that these grays or these little gray aliens may not be from our universe, and there's a lot of proof behind that. But I am sure there's a species that is even as intelligent as we are, if not smarter, beyond anything we can imagine that exists somewhere in the universe. It's just not mathematically possible that we are the only ones. And if we are, that's an even scarier thought that we are alone in this never-ending universe. And it makes you wonder, why are we here? What was our purpose? What is the reason behind consciousness if we are the only planet in this entire universe that has conscious beings?
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well,
non-human?
naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
Letter with us from the Department of Defense giving him permission to do the interview with News Nation. It says the interview questions are approved for public release. However, this approval does not include any photograph, picture, exhibit.
So like I said, this man is not a whistleblower. The government is allowing him to speak out with pre-approved questions. He's only allowed to speak about certain things because there are a lot of classified documents. But like I said, this is really to get us talking because there's something big that's going on that we're not aware of. And to take our attention off of that, we have to watch this. So everything this man is saying is true. But like I said, this is not for the reason why you think it is. It's like I said, it's either to get us prepared for something that is coming, That's why we're seeing all this weird stuff happening lately. We're seeing, the skies filled orange, the sun turned blood red. We're hearing of motherships and all, people and cops seeing aircraft crash, and we're having the actual government, send us videos of military personnel video recording spacecraft. So they are slowly but surely pushing this out. Like I said, we would have never heard about this 5 years ago, 10 years ago. There is a specific reason why we're hearing all this information in such a short period of time.
Human beings being hurt or killed by a non-human intelligence.
While I can't get into the specifics because that would reveal certain U.S. classified operations, I was briefed by a few individuals on the program that there were malevolent events like that.
Now, NASA did state that they are sending beam particles into space, hoping to make contact with another civilization, with an alien civilization. And it has been confirmed that something is sending beam particles back to us, lights back to us, that we can't explain, and we strongly believe that it is another civilization. But my question is, why would we want to do something like that? Why are we taking the chance for something to come visit us? It would be nice to know there's other life forms out there, but sometimes it's best to leave well enough alone, especially if these things can be hostile. Now, it would make sense for something to be hostile if we are picking and probing at it, but we don't know what their intentions are. We don't know if they want to use us for resource. For example, take a look at the Bodhi's Void, this big void in space. There are theories that there is an advanced civilization that actually used all these galaxies as resource. That's why there's a big void missing. So why are we taking a chance in something finding us? I say, I don't care if there's another civilization out there. As long as this planet is doing well, we need to take care of this planet before we start looking for other things, because we are really opening up a bad can of worms. And is this why the universe is not booming with life like it should be? Because there is a alpha species, a apex species that's bumping life off to take its resources, and we're over here drawing attention to ourselves, and it noticed, and it's coming. There's also something interesting to note. I made a video about AI, artificial technology, and Geordie Rose. And in that video, Geordie Rose made a startling comment that I picked up on when he was giving his speech. He talked about what are we going to do if a mothership comes to our planet in the year 2030. He specifically said this, and he said we would have to get ready, and AI, artificial technology, is the key to saving humanity.
So basically, say I'm the President of the United States. So I received this message from the heavens. So my microwave dish, my SETI dish, finally captures something. And what it says is, in 50 years, or 13 years, we're coming to your planet. You gotta be ready. Now just imagine what would happen if that happened. A super intelligent alien race beamed down a message to all of us Earthlings saying, we're coming July 13th, 2030, and boy, you better be ready because the mothership is landing right on the front lawn of the White House or wherever you wanted to land on that day. The amount of resources that would be marshaled to try to figure out what to do would encompass the whole world. AI is just like that. So when this thing...
I want you to remember that date, July 13th, 2030. He didn't pull that date out of nowhere. That date has a meaning behind it, and the number 13 is a occultic number. So I want you to remember that date. Anyway, these people in power, these CEOs, these government officials, all know something is happening, whether it's aliens or something else. Something is happening, and it's not good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement can help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.